Okay, we're now beginning our next set of stitches. I ended up putting 5 rows in my last row, where I worked in 1 increase every 8 stitches. And now in these following rows, we're going to put 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. Now we're going to continue doing that in order to build up the hat. This will build up the overall depth of your hat as to how long it is. So if you have really long hair or locks, you're going to build it up, you know, pretty far. If you want just like a beret or tam type hat, you're going to do fewer rows. I'm probably going to do at least 7 rows of this particular stitch, just because my locks are now longer and I like my hats to be a little bit deeper. And also, depending on how you make your band, even though your hat is deep, you don't necessarily have to put all of your hair in the hat. You can wear it over to the side like a little tam or beret. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our next color, if that's what we're doing, or we can continue on in the same color by going through the top of the stitch here on the next row. And as we did before, we're going to add in our color by doing it with a slip stitch, which is pulling through that first stitch and then pulling through the last stitch of that particular row. And to secure it, we're going to chain once, and I'm going to chain one more time. Okay, so there's 2 chains on the hook, and you have 1 more chain here. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to simply put our double crochets in. There will be no more increases throughout this hat, so every stitch will get 1 single double crochet here, and this is how we're going to continue throughout the remainder of these rows. And like I said, you'll get a pretty good idea once you build up some rows how long you want it or where you want to stop. That is totally up to you. The pattern that I'm using says at least 2 to 3 rows, but you can easily put in 4 or 5 without any problems. And like I said, I plan on doing about 7 myself, unless of course I run out of this color, because I'm trying to, on this particular tutorial, have every change in stitches correspond with a color. So if you look at my hat, every time there's a color change, there's a stitch change. Every stitch change has its own color, and that's just to make it easier for those of you who are beginning to visually see where you should be at during a particular stitch. Okay, so again, just go ahead and crochet away until you get it to the width or the length that you're satisfied with, and then we can continue on with our next rows, which will be decreasing the hat to fit it onto our heads. Alright, so we're almost there. We're almost halfway through. Okay, okay, now that we've completed the rows necessary in order to lengthen our hat, this is what I have so far. And I decided only to make 5 rows to lengthen it, because I made 5 of these as well, and I wanted the pattern to look a little bit more fluid. Now what we're going to do is start on our rows that are going to close the hat down and fit it into our heads. In order to do that, we're going to have to start doing the double crochet decrease. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my next color, which is this darker brown. I'm at an odd angle, so and the hat is heavier, so it's pulling. Alright, and to secure that, I'm going to do our stitch, and then I'm going to do it again. Now for these next rows, we're going to do a double crochet decrease every 6 stitches. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to work 1 double crochet into the same stitch, and then we're going to do 6 more stitches. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh, I lost it. There we go. That should be a better angle. Four, 5. And I'm going to drop my stranding and make the last one. 6. Okay, in order to do the decrease stitch, we're going to yarn over, go through the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, yarn over again, go through the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the first 2, yarn over again and pull through the last 3, and that is your first decrease. We're going to do 6 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And again, decrease by yarning over, go to the next stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over again, go through the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the last 3. So now we've made 2 decreases, and this is the same pattern we're going to follow around until the hat fits your head. So however many rows it takes in order for it to fit onto your head, that's how many you're going to do on this time. And we're almost done, and then we'll come back for a few finishing touches. I'm going to add another color for the finishing row by going through here, the first stitch on the same row. Now this is where you get to choose how you want your finishing band to be. You have the choice to either do this in a single crochet stitch all the way around or a half double crochet stitch. It's totally up to you. I'm going to use the single crochet stitch to finish my project. I'm trying to find another piece here. And to do that, you do not yarn over, you just go straight through the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through. That's how you do a single crochet stitch. And I believe I'll do perhaps 2 of these stitches in order to finish this hat. And that will complete this crochet project. And I hope that it's been helpful to you. And I hope that the instructions that I gave you all the way through and breaking them up in the manner that I did made it a little bit easier for those of you who are beginners, and for those of you who are advanced. I hope that I wrote out the pattern instructions so that they were easy to understand, because I am not an expert pattern writer. And this is actually the first time I've tried to actually write my own patterns, or write a pattern. This one is not my own, but the one from the other video is a pattern that I created. So hopefully it's been helpful. And that will conclude the tutorial on this particular Rasta Tam. Alright? Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.